Video.
Hey,
Hello!
hi everybody! It's Isle of the Dark time.
Yes, welcome
Ooh,
to our show number 9 of the
Isle
Isle of the
of the
Dark read along.
Dark. Yeah, our
Two things,
penultimate
two things
show.
before we start though. One,
Spoilers,
there will be spoilers. And
Yes.
big
two, if you want to
spoilers.
win a copy of Isle of the Dark by Rena Brown, the lady below, or a
Mm,
t-shirt, please leave a comment please leave a comment after the stream commenting hashtag Isle of the Dark, like you can
mm.
see in the flag down below, and the moving thing.
Yeah, and maximum spoilers on today. I think all the
Yeah.
spoilers basically on today's show.
Yeah.
It's like this
Major
happens, that
spoilers.
happens, this happens, and it's like big, massive battle going on. And it was like we was left right on the precipice of the battle starting at the end of last week's show, and there was the quiet before the storm. They'd laid out all their traps in the clearing.
Yeah.
And they was getting ready. They were like a big hold of a big army of humans are all there waiting to take on. They've kind of surprised the Datsos by going into their territory, unexpectedly laying traps, so they can't even get to the Rose Wall. And then.
And then, if anyone has any blood loss, it was not satisfied.
Yeah. There was enough blood. There was enough blood in this one, but
Nah.
maybe not enough blood for you.
Not even enough a few humans breaking a bone. I was so disappointed. I was expecting some battle.
I think a hooked knife going through your hand into the shoulder of that's no
That's broken bones.
yeah, that's no small thing. That was nice.
And if you read the kind of stuff I read, that's not even impressive.
Oh yeah, well no,
I will say though, I mean the main characters, nothing really happens, but you also forget there's also like tons of backhand characters that you don't know if they live or die.
Yeah,
but in this one. And this one, I told Rita before, I was disappointed from the fight, like I was disappointed from the Stephanie Meyer fight in Twilight.
You didn't see enough of what happened.
Yeah, because there's so much spoilers for that one if you haven't read. Because there's so much death and destruction, and then it's all just a vision, and nothing actually happens.
Right. Yeah, we've not got that in this. We've got an actual fight. So what happens?
Yeah, but it feels it's a bit too fan fiction-y perfect. Just a bit where it's all the humans survived, all the traps worked, nothing failed.
Yeah. Well, no, they did
have Ranger. Ranger does get almost killed, but he comes back.
He does get killed. His heart stops for a few moments, and he gets turned into a Datso. I don't think you can get much more. He gets Datsified.
It would have been that much better if the Queen did manage to control him and he had to fight it. That would just give it so much more meaning. Where he was actually faced with having to.
You gotta write your own stories.
She would force him to actually kill his friends. Imagine him having to fight, and imagine Isle having to fight to stop him. Ranger having to fight not to only kill all the humans, his friends, but also not to kill Isle.
You wanted a longer book by the sounds of it. You want the book twice as long as it is already. All the extra fight scenes.
I love my blood lost.
You want one of these books like that kind of thing. But yeah, no, it was cool because so we kind of set in the scene. The big they had like a big siege engine, like a big war machine that kind of like on wheels being pulled along by Datsos into the scene. And
I was kind of hoping, for a more bloodier battle, maybe
a few more descriptive of battle. But we didn't really follow. What did it actually struck me? But we didn't actually follow the main fight of the main army. We just concentrated on the heroes. We just concentrated on Ranger. So I was thinking, I don't think I saw a single human being getting killed in that last battle, but only because we didn't hear about it.
It
must have happened. It must have happened. We just never heard about it because the story was concentrating on Ranger, who'd gone to attack the siege engine to try and.
Someone would, you'd see I don't know, Ranger. Also, there's one scene that kind of stopped me. Not stopped me, but it was like, okay, Ranger's on his horse. There's these flying Datsos. He's standing, like you said, I'm standing, and he grabbed the the flying Datso with how did he not fall? How did the horse not freak out? Because Ranger pulled him, and I was like, but wait, how is he still?
You could theoretically ask the same thing in Lord of the Rings, how you have horses just running underneath elephants. The horses sometimes don't freak.
Yeah. That's like some of them monsters were huge, weren't they? He actually ran under the legs of some of them, didn't he? On horseback. So, but
that's like, it's not like they grabbed the elephant and pulled it toward them. And here he pulls the Datso by the tail. And I was
but he just grabbed it. He let him carry.
Yeah, but he manages to kill it and continue. I mean, how is the horse not freaking out?
Well, the horses are on the ground. The horses is
he's the horse. Yeah, no, it's not like he takes the whole horse up with him.
The horse is trained. The horse has been trained
I don't believe that a Datso would not have been able to lift the horse also a bit off the ground.
But the horse
grabs it.
No,
the horse wasn't still with him.
No.
He got off the horse. He rode along.
No, he was standing on the horse. No, he was standing on the horse.
Yeah, but the horse didn't go off in the air following the Datso.
No, before that, there's a scene before that where as he's running towards them on the horse and fighting. That's when that happened. I was like, how is
the horse? He's not on the horse for the thing. Yeah,
I'm not sure what bit you're on about now. Is that I know that he was on the horseback and he grabbed over the tail of a Datso and got carried off by the Datso, and he
that was even before that when he was running towards the structure, towards the carriage.
Yeah,
he was fighting Datsos along the way, and said he stood on the horse. And you just he killed this flying Datso. He grabbed him by the tail and then slashed it. And I'm like, how is he standing?
Well, obviously
how
he's an athlete.
How is he not falling with the horse?
Obviously, he's an acrobat. There's some people who ride horses all the time. There was like archers who can.
I don't know.
If you've done enough horse training, then and you're an acrobatic enough person, then it is possible. This is like fantasy fighting. It's fantastical fighting with like more or less superheroes, like action heroes. It's like Indiana Jones when he does all his stuff.
I still find it hard to believe he didn't manage to lift the horse with him, because he grabbed onto the Datso.
Yeah, the Datso's wing. Yeah, but no, he was like off the horse.
He came off the horse. He came off the horse at that point.
Yeah, he went off the horse because he's not on the horse again.
I swear that was before that. I mean,
I think he might have stood on the horse. He stood up in the saddle.
No, it says he jumped and grabbed onto its wing. Yeah,
that was before. I'm talking about a bit that was before that. I don't know. Sometimes even I can't follow the descriptions. I'm reading it and I have to go back. Like, wait, what happened? Because even I'm confused.
Right, but anyway, he ends up on the tower.
I must say, read again with the football field description.
Kind of like the description on where it's not placed. Yeah, authors.
Because Duty calls it a carriage, and I'm like, I mean, how does it pass through the trees? I mean, again, that's so knocks some trees, but that is like a football field is fucking humongous. Isn't it?
Well, I'm assuming it must have placed this. They must have built
a baseball field or something. Okay,
but the thing was
more manageable.
The thing was, if this was their plan all along, they would have made sure they cleared a path for it, or an easy. They would have already made sure that all they had to do was knock down a few trees. Because they obviously this was all part of their big plan.
That's so heavily disappointed me.
I think sometimes there could be a bit more like in-depth description of bits. Sometimes it's like you're kind of left to sort of calculate it yourself, kind of thing. Like how different sizes of the Datsos, that kind of stuff. And sometimes you're not too sure how big the Datso is they're fighting. The one bit when he runs under their legs, like on horseback. And I was like, oh wow, they're massive. But then it makes you think the one that was hidden inside the carriage couldn't have been any bigger than the ones that he was already fighting. But
but it's described as to be fucking huge.
I suppose it's hard to know from what shapes they are, because they can become any shape, can't they?
Yeah, but it was so disappointing, like how easily Leon just shot an arrow, luckily in a soft spot under the eye. And
that didn't kill it though; it just annoyed it.
No, it just annoyed it.
Yeah, no, it was.
Like, that's it. That's your biggest weapon, duty.
You're jumping ahead, though. You're jumping ahead. You're kind of like you're going all over the place. So we're not going to go for it chronologically. If we keep jumping to other bits.
Do we ever go through it chronologically?
Kind of, yeah. I try to. I try to break it down chapter by chapter so we can discuss it as we go along.
I don't. Things just smash for me, and I go based on what I remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically,
I do.
Yeah. So he goes up because he basically. We kind of knew it was going to happen anyway, because Bardoom was telling Isle he doesn't like you, he doesn't trust you, he's only using you, he's not going to bloody help you out, and like Ranger proves him wrong. Ranger proves that he did care for Isle, which is the important buddy part of the book. And Isle is obviously pleased that he cares for him, but at the very moment he goes to reach to try and rescue him from where he's dangling from this yard arm kind of thing on top of the carriage. Yeah. This is a bit I didn't quite understand actually when how they ended up going over the side. Like when he cuts the pole that he's dangling from, and it falls. I mean, it just topples over, and then it's dangling over the side.
It has like 5 floors, which I didn't understand either. Does that mean the upper ones are smaller?
He did say that. He did say they're smaller as they went upwards. He did say that bit. But I was kind of surprised it wasn't more like the whole thing wasn't full of Daxos, and he didn't have to fight his way through it. So that's like you said,
it was a tad bit of a disappointing fight. I was expecting, I was just expecting them to at least breach the gates, but they all defeated them even before they got there. And I was like, that's it.
Well, that was the plan. That was they were all the traps for. That was the plan. They wanted to try and get them before they caught them unawares. Like the fact that they caught them by surprise, something like that destroys the troop morale and that kind of thing. And like when you surprise on people like that, sometimes it can make them rout. It can make them turn tail and run because something's happened they're not expecting. So that's a possibility.
I don't know. Also, I don't know. I was expecting a more impressive fight.
Yeah, I think the thing is that if it was more in depth and much more going on, it would have to be a heck of a bigger book for it to be able to do that. So
believe it or not, this was originally 420 pages. This is the short version.
Yeah, so rather than concentrating on the main battle,
slightly more violent fight, though. I don't know. Maybe I'm still disappointed from Harlock today.
Yeah, you just wanted blood, and it wasn't really concentrating too much on that. We had some. But
it's like it's just a little too perfect that no human even got injured.
Yeah, I get it. There's a whole bunch of people that you don't see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least describe when we get to soldiers.
When we get to the last chapter, there's probably going to be something like, they're tending their wounded and the dead are lying on the battlefield, that kind of thing. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
you've got to imagine.
That's not fun.
Matilda, you'll enjoy my next book then. If you're this fight thirsty, you'll enjoy the next one.
I just want a little more action. Maybe it's because I'm bitter and miserable.
So I like the danger going on. It was kind of because you obviously your space kind of like you didn't want to drag it out massive. It felt like it was happening quite quickly, which was quite good. But like the big giant monster, it didn't last. That fight didn't last too long.
I don't know, perhaps a little bit too quickly. Also,
yeah, I think that's all.
Kind of a little bit also with the Ranger Ex Machina too. Him, surviving.
Yeah,
it probably wouldn't be considered Ex Machina, but I mean, how easily all the injuries have been solved in a sense with just a Daxo bite.
Yeah, that makes sense but it was. I don't understand how he was still able to go on that leg. The brace has fallen to pieces.
Yeah,
how much damage must he be doing to his poor leg? But he's still soldering on.
These dickheads have time to build weapons and traps. So no one has enough time to make a medical school where they make something for cats to this point. Come on, people.
Yeah.
I mean, they have football fields, apparently. They don't have time to work something out for medication.
No, it was just a measurement of length. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, but still, it does kind of take you out because considering the time period and the kind of equipment they're working with, suddenly you have football field and in between the winter and spring, they have this like few weeks where there's time for football, and at the football field it has a net. So the flying pretzels can't fly in, and then they open the football.
I posit you could have used archery field site or something like that. Archery shooting ground. That could have worked. Anyway, an archery training field, something like that.
I'm surprised you didn't use it was as wide as the Royal Palace or something. I thought you'd use something like that, or it was as wide as the walls of the gate, maybe. I was quite surprised you didn't use that description.
Right. Yeah, no, there's a lot of things that even just a year later. I mean, it's been about a year since I've gotten the book published. There's a lot of things I'd go back and change. There would be a lot of things I'd go back and I'd fix or I'd rearrange and change. Yeah.
But the thing is, like talking about the battle, the fact is this is the length of it's not a massive, thick, huge book. There's plenty enough stuff going on in it already without having to add like 20 more chapters. You could easily, I think that's like, it could easily have been a lot more going on, and it could have been a lot thicker book, and you could have like dragged out the battles more and gone into more description about the battles, but this is a good sort of reading size, to be honest. This is still a decent reading size, and the main points of the story are still good and still interesting. Like I was like so after they get out of the belly of the beast, thanks to Isle waking up and turning into his own Datso form, and they rip their way out. They end up. I can't remember where did Isle go to. I'm not sure where Isle go to. He was getting into battle fighting other Datsos, but Ranger. That's right, because Isle runs off. Isle runs off into the fog because the fog comes in after the snow. Isle runs into the fog. Ranger goes after him to try and help him or get him to come back with him or whatever. And he goes to what he thinks is Isle, and it turns out it's Bardoon. They end up having a big fight, and while he's fighting Bardoon, he gets snagged from behind, straight in the jaws of the Mama Hydra, whatever the heck she's called again, Mama Datso Queen. And I was like legitimately thinking, oh, it's called Isle of the Dark. Maybe Ranger's not in the next one, because I bought it. He was especially we did the old heart stopping thing. I thought, oh, maybe he is dead. Well, I was thinking, so what's going to happen next? Are the other people going to like take Isle in because in memory of fallen Ranger? I kind of know. You had me going there with the whole of him dying kind of thing. I certainly bought that.
I didn't, because Isle of Winternox.
Yeah, you know.
Kind of knowing about.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Hi, Mr. Ross.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Ross. How are you?
Yeah, I was legitimately thinking for a second. Maybe he's not in the next one.
I
she did say
that. Sometimes. And sometimes you in fiction. I think it all in the end boils down to everyone's taste. Because, for instance, someone else will read this and not be bothered with the descriptions being different. I mean, I think even if we didn't read this to talk about it here, I think I'd still, if I made a thoughts video on this, I would still say, I found some descriptions really weird, not fitting the time period that's supposedly in the book. The same thing I did with the Devil's Red Bride. I mentioned that when I talked about the issues too. I
think it'd be more.
The language took me out of the story when it didn't fit the time period.
Yeah, some of the descriptions were a little bit incongruent with what I envisaged as the period. I think it would have been like in my head, like if it'd been described in terms that would have been more like true to the world. Then I think it would have been. It wouldn't have like I looked at that football field. And I thought that as well, because I just think that the narrator,
blueprints or 3D
blueprints. I was thinking the narrator was from that same sort of world kind of thing. So when there's something that I think maybe that wouldn't be of that world, it did seem a bit incongruent. But that was not really a big deal. But mainly
not really in the end of the day. But when it's such a contrast, it does kind of gets you out of the story. I mean, look, we're obviously not going to notice everything. There's some things that'll slip, but still, when it's that much of a contrast between, it's quite glaring.
It's a little bit, but little bit incongruent.
Hi, Mr. Ross. Thank you for coming.
But what did you think of the fight? The fight. I was quite surprised because we now know that both Isles managed to kill the Queen, and Rangers managed to kill Bardoon. And it's when he nearly fell into that pit, I thought, oh, someone's going to fall in.
That's so disappointing. It's like,
I thought it was going to be carried
pretty
on.
Cool, like this pretty an asshole full of himself.
Yeah,
but still a pretty cool villain. And he just dies. Like I thought we'd at least. What I imagined when Ranger stuck his horn in his hand, I thought at least he would escape, and then we see him later on with a bigger army and a new plan. He just died by rushing forward and falling into the pit, and I was like, "That's it, really? That's it?"
Yeah, but that's kind of like, but it has kind of like. Defied your expectations, because I was expecting the same as well. I thought they were going to be ongoing villains, and we thought this was going to be a small battle of a much longer war kind of thing. But it seems like but we're going to get more down the line, obviously, because the next one's going to be set at a different time.
Yeah, but the thing I imagined that maybe they would they would succeed towards some of them off, but they would still not fully succeed. There'd still be gaps would range through, and then it would continue later.
Well, that's your expectations being...
this was... and not expectations. I mean, I belong for the ride with almost all books I read. Whatever happens. But I don't know. I was hoping for something a little more action. He just feels like, you almost the climax of something cool, and then,
you wanted to go on for longer. You wanted to go on for longer.
Volner dies, basically.
I think it was cool.
I think I had actually tried to allude to you guys in one of the past shows prior. I said there was a different villain for every different book.
Yeah.
Without trying to allude to the fact that Bardoon dies, but
it's a shame. I quite like Dooney. I wish we had him some more.
That's the thing. Is there's a cool, evil, vicious villain. That's the thing. You kind of like sometimes want the evil villains to get away, so you can kill them another day. You kind of
right.
You think
the Murdoch and MacGyver.
Yeah.
You think Bardoon would think of really escaping and then coming back?
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised
for that, though.
I'm kind of surprised the Detzels also don't really feel the connection between each other, because I imagined if the connection broke and the Queen died, Bardoon would notice it after so many centuries of being connected to her. That also kind of disappointed me. I was like, honestly, Dooney, you're fighting Ranger and you don't know yet that your Queen's dead.
Obviously it's not like as telepathic as that. I mean, maybe it's on a certain low level rather than
all these centuries that be a connection specifically between the two of them, because she's the one who turned him. Also, the other thing I wondered is Ranger changing differently also because of how ancient the Detso that bit him is, because she's the first Detso. And thinking how Bardoon changed and how Ranger is changing, maybe it has to do with the Queen.
Ranger's got Asolari blood, doesn't it? And he's also probably a tough guy anyway, so it's going.
But Bardoon didn't.
Bardoon hasn't got any Asolari blood, though, has he?
Yeah, and he changed, and you see how he changed. So I'm thinking maybe it also has to do with the Queen.
He hasn't got Asolari blood, has he, Bardoon?
No.
He was just a normal human, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So that's why he changed. That's why he changed quickly, because he's got no magic blood in him. He's got no magic DNA to help battle it.
I mean, how humanoid he is, and how it looks like Ranger's going to be humanoid too.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm still not too sure on the magic and the science of it. Like, I'm still not a bit confused about the science. And it's like Isles one of the only ones who actually changes backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
And I just thought that when you got bitten, you become a monstrous version of what you originally were. But then it turns out you don't. If you get bitten, I don't know, do you change into just a monster? or do you change into a monstrous version of what bit you?
Well, with
I was still
Isle-
a bit confused about the magic science of it.
Yeah, but Isle has the whole that whole armor of he's the one special character because the plot needs it.
Yeah,
Kind of thing, like like the vampire who refuses to drink blood from humans, things like that.
You got
like
some,
out of
you
all
got
of them, he's like the one.
Yeah, it wouldn't work if he was in the same as every other Datso because it'd be it wouldn't be a hero.
Story.
He wouldn't be a hero, would he? It'd be just another Datso to kill. So
well,
that makes sense.
Then he would be Ranger's pet.
No, you can't keep Datsos as pets.
No, I'm serious. Ranger would just keep him on a leash, and they would walk in the woods. Good boy, Isle. You went to the toilet.
Oh my gosh.
It could easily have been like bigger if you wanted to spend like a couple more years fleshing it out. You could easily like flesh this whole book out again. It was like and just, but you don't. This is the size of the book. So it's not like it has to be fleshed out, but it could easily be and be just just as interesting and more interesting because you'd have a chance to put more details in it and more descriptions in it, kind of thing. But yeah, this is good enough as it is anyway.
Can we now get to the suicide, please?
Yeah, that was a bit confusing. I thought
that's confusing. I was like, okay, so Rita doesn't like torture scene, but suicide totally kosher. Let's go, baby.
Can we just settle something out that me and Matilda were talking about? I thought he was about to jump in the pit and kill himself by jumping into the pit, and Matilda says he was about to rip his own throat out. I don't know. I thought he was going to jump into the pit as his method of killing himself or thinking about it. Did you have a particular method of how he was going to do it?
Yeah, no, he was just going to
rip his throat out. I don't know why I thought he was going to jump into the pit. I don't know. I think I had the pit on my head because it'd be in there, and he was sort of standing by the pit. So I just assumed he was going to jump onto the spikes, kind of thing. That's how I was envisaging it.
Think about it. That would have been a smarter idea, and then he would have finished quicker.
Yeah, this is. I'm saying that because, like Kurt's saying as well, it could release it from our point of view, but this could easily be like fleshed out into a massive book. And get everyone's points of view and that kind of thing, and like getting scenes from the battle.
Don't do that. If it was
not now, but like
not ever. I'm sorry, Rena.
No.
If you release this like Game of Thrones, as much as I enjoy this, I am not reading that.
No,
I had enough attempting reading Game of Thrones twice. I could not. If I have to read about Quill, I'm leaving now.
No, but it definitely could have easily. But this is as the size as it is. It's still good read. I prefer it. If it was like a massive book like that, I might be a bit too like dragging on a bit. But this was just like a nice, quick, easy read. Good action, good characters. Good bit of interplay between the characters as well. And like we've got an ending as well.
Yeah,
in some ways, it's refreshing.
It depends, Mr. Gray. If you enjoyed the book, even if it's long, it's not going to feel as long.
No.
But when you don't like the book, even a 50-page book is going to feel like 1,000 pages.
Yeah, but this wasn't that. This is I've enjoyed reading it, and I like every time I was legitimately going, ooh, like when I thought he was going to kill him. Well, not before that. When I thought he was actually dead, when his heart stops beating, I was like, oh. And I was going,
I knew he wasn't going to be dead. I was just waiting to see what would happen.
Well, you got
because I know
me.
of Isle of Winternock, so to me it's not.
Well, he might have been another person. He might have been something. It might not have been Ranger on the cover. I mean, I've seen the cover of Isle of Winternock, but I've not read it yet.
Back in October. Back in October, Grayman, when you got your copy, I think for the first time, or we were sending you your copy for the first time. Me and Mom were both poking at you because I think you were making, like guesses on what the story was going to be about, and Mom dropped the fact that there was a character death, and I ended up messaging you after the fact and said, yeah, no, she wasn't kidding. There's a major character death, but I think overall I kind of cheated it. I think that message
is that or Bella thing, Sharon.
Telling me stuff.
So he did. He was giving me spoilers for this one. He died, but he didn't really die.
Yeah, the ex machina died.
Who's the ex machina? The baddies died. The bad guys died.
No, it's a phrase used, Mr. Gray, like ex machina, like something that immediately
like
solves the plot
device. Yeah, but he didn't die, though, did he?
How is it? As a sentence I hear from some reviewer, because the script needed the plot to happen.
Right. Yeah, that's.
I mean, it's not related to anything now, but it's just I always remember that one. It always makes me laugh.
Well, anyway, so this is good because it means in the next books we're going to get new villains introduced and new situations.
Whatever you do, when Hollywood approaches you for that movie deal, say no.
Why?
Because I shudder to think how they're going to fuck up the story.
Right.
If I had license to control the plot of the film, I wouldn't let them change very much.
I mean, if I ever am so fortunate that a story I write gets taken to be a movie, I'm demanding to see the full script, and then I'll say no.
If they paid me enough money, they could do what the bloody hell they liked with it. If I was to have anything that was, I would. Like, it makes me rich. If they made me rich, I'm like, okay, crack on. It don't bother me. You can do my life story and portray me as a blinking, I don't know, if you want.
I think Stephanie Meyer regrets it to this day. I think Stephanie Meyer regrets it to this day.
Who's that? Is that the person who did Twilight?
Yeah.
I bet every time she looks at her bank account, she hasn't got a single regret in the world.
Well, I can tell you if she saw the fan fiction written about Edward and Jacob, she will.
Yeah, well.
Let's say, though, that was a much better story than Bella and Edward, so crack on.
Right. Whatever. Right, should we go to the ending of what the cliffhanger that we're left on? So look, he wants to kill himself because he knows that he can't control the Datso plague in him, and he doesn't think the Datso plague is going to be beaten by his diluted
He's like,
ancillary blood.
Okay, guys, listen. I need you to stay to go now. I'm about to kill myself.
Yeah, he didn't want to see them.
I was like, okay, Rena's not okay with the torture. But just telling your friends, guys, listen. But
it wasn't torture.
You just go leave, take care of Isle. I'm just going to quickly commit harakiri.
It's kind of like how I had said before when I was explaining the torture thing. It's kind of more like I can dance around the subject, but I can't describe something actually happening. So it's not like I could actually describe, the scene
gritty, nasty detail.
Action. Yeah, it was just kind of more for that flair of drama and to introduce a different solution, because at the end of that chapter they're talking about a different solution. So it was just I kind of had to build it around so that they could get to a different solution.
Yeah, and also to play it to the fact that like all is doomed and we
are
heroes.
Never read one of my stories, Rena. When I write my next one, I won't send it to you because you won't like it.
Yeah, well, you've got different styles. Everyone's, people have different styles of writing. So you'll probably have lots more blood and sex in yours. I probably wouldn't read yours, Matilda. I'll probably blanch at some of your writing, I bet, and whatever goes on in whatever you write.
I read this stuff since I was 12, so I'm really desensitized to it.
Yeah,
because at 12 years old, I read rape, sex scenes, torture, killing.
But this isn't aimed at the people into the sick, dark stuff. This is aimed at a more like
but still,
easy read fantasy story.
Yeah, but it's still suicide.
But it's not describing it in detail. I mean, you've got to have some action and some gore, but it's not. I mean, he's had a blinking eye's got gouged out and a horn's been broken off, and Blake's been impaled in a pit. So there is some description without going into nasty
suicide.
Yeah, but but you can't. You've got to have a certain element in a battle scene. You've got to have a certain element of death and wounding and war. But without having to go into the real depths of gore and like drawn out pain and whatever. There's still got to be some elements of it. I think that's more the point that
I
doesn't want to dwell on it in depth.
Will disagree with you.
Yeah, that's how he likes to do. He likes to have people's face ripped off by dogs.
Not to mention how much he likes to describe sausages.
Yeah, being chopped off. Yeah.
No, I mean food. No,
Okay.
I'm talking literal food.
Okay.
You know how much he describes food? Fuck me.
Okay.
It's a nightmare to get through. Just the food descriptions alone take you 10 minutes.
Oh. Well, don't do these food descriptions in your next book, Matilda. Yeah, as Rena, anybody. But anyway, so the hero dies. Then he's not dead. Then he's got to kill himself. This is what we need to be concentrating on. The fact that when you invested in the characters, and like I was kind of,
Is it that I'm disappointed Quill's not dead?
Yeah, but you're a mean person, Matilda. She might still die. Yeah, she might. But anyway, so we've now.
One can only hope.
We've now gone from we think he's going to die. Yeah, it looks like it's hopeless, and we're all kind of invested in.
You gotta love how Ranger just is like a shitty dad, because right where he's about to kill himself, he tells Quill, "You're like my daughter."
Yeah, but that's not being a shitty dad, is it?
I was like, no.
He has trouble.
When that happened, I was like, Ranger, you fucking kidding me, mate?
Well, you can do this before you kill yourself.
Oh, yeah, right before you tell runs in the family.
He realized
he does say
too.
that. Yeah, he did. He did say that. Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, but
Yeah, but when you think, but you gotta think how fucked up that is. Cause
but in his own mind, he's about to
kill himself.
Yeah, in his own mind, he's about to end himself. So he wants to tell her how much she means to him. So it makes sense.
Yeah, and then he's just
it makes it, and then he realizes, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that because now it's going to make her feel even worse. But I don't think it would have made her feel any worse than it.
I already would. So I was protesting when he said that. I was like, Ranger Isle is your son. Fuck Quill.
That's because you don't like her.
Quill is okay. You're just not that invested with her. That's the thing.
Nobody likes
to me.
I don't mind her. I don't mind
Quill. She's just there. She's just there, and that's it.
Is that Kurt says it's his last chance? Exactly, it's his last chance. He thinks he's going to top it.
Kind of like
he slips out. He slips out that she's a daughter to him, but she must know that anyway. She feels that he's her father anyway, doesn't she? As good as. So
right, you tell her, Sharon. Exactly. I will tell you I love you until I kick the bucket. Yeah, Quill, I love you like my daughter. And I'm going to tell you this now, right before I slit my wrists.
Yeah. Well, he's not going to have another chance afterwards, is he? So
he's not the only character who's done that, though. It's Supernatural, beginning of season 2.
I don't know. I never watched Supernatural, so I can't say.
To me,
I might read the books, though.
I think it's a very realistic scene, to be honest, because when you're to your last moments, you've got to say things like that, aren't you? But then, and then immediately he said it, he regretted it because he thought it was going to hurt her more by saying it. It wasn't.
Yeah, but normally that's when someone else is already injured and about to die, not about to kill themselves right in that moment.
Well,
to be fair, Ranger
same difference.
Has been suppressing his feelings for years now, so not much you can do there.
But the main thing is he's gonna kill himself rather than become a Datso. The last thing he ever wants to do is become a Datso and possibly hurt other humans and especially his friends. So that's very believable for his character that he's going to do that.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, Ranger, now you and I can hang out and you can really be his adoptive daddy.
Yeah, but there was no guaranteeing that he would have the same. Yeah, there would be no guaranteeing that he would have the same nature as Lyle.
We will, because the story needs that to happen.
No, the story needs him to be killed. Under the logic of the story, he would kill himself rather than risk it.
I love Winternox, Mr. Grey.
But in this story, we don't know about Isle of Winternox. At this moment in time, while we're reading the story, it makes perfect sense that he's about to kill himself, and it makes perfect sense as well from what we know of the characters that they won't allow him to kill himself if they think there's even any glimmer of a chance.
I'm telling you. I think wherever Isle took Ranger to. Ranger is going to turn, but he's still going to remain mostly with his human side, like Isle. And then they're going to work on things from there because we still have all the unknown Datsels around that we don't know about. They're probably going to attack too. And now the question is, what happens to Ranger? Also, in the part where he pinned Bardoon to the tree.
Yeah.
But before I got to the part where
his horn.
No, before Bardoon ran, I was like thinking because he said you'll answer your crimes to the kingdom. And I was thinking, if those idiots decide to leave Bardoon in a cage, and in the kingdom, they deserve anything that's going to happen to them.
Yeah, I would have just killed him personally. I would have just finished him off rather than taking him back to be executed. But
I was kind of hoping that would happen, and then you would kill everyone in the kingdom, and then it would stop driving Dazzles there like morons. I can't. You have this race of dangerous creatures, and you drive them through your city to get them executed in front of everyone like morons.
Rena, wake me up when Zlata's finished ranting.
Oh, and by the way, Isle still doesn't have pants. I didn't forget.
I forgot what points I was going to make now. That's some perfectly legitimate points to make. But yeah. So yeah.
We were talking about pinning Bardoon to the tree.
Yeah, no, Zlata was talking about that. I'd gone well past that. She's kind of thrown us back in time again. But no, I was talking about how they've I don't know. I'm not quite sure what Isle is doing, but he's taken Ranger off. He obviously has got some plan, but they're talking about an antidote. So they're going off on they've hitched a ride on the back of a Dazzo with like under threat of death, and when they're going back to the car. I don't remember hearing about an antidote before. Was there something said about an antidote previously in the story that I've forgotten about?
I did.
I was shocked.
I did have to insert it earlier in the story because one of the feedback points I had gotten during the first draft was that you don't mention this anywhere else. It is mentioned, but it's only like a single line mention.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
I can't recall them ever talking about it.
No, I didn't remember that. I was a little bit.
They do talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, but so they hardly ever get to use it because normally people turn too quickly.
I'm annoyed now because they have time to develop an antidote, but no one can make a cast.
Yeah, that's a good. But he was too. The thing is, he was too busy. He probably could have made a cast, but he was too like, oh, I'm going to get straight back.
I'm not talking about Ranger. I'm talking about the medical people there.
Yeah, they probably
you have time to work on an antidote, but you can't even keep the cast and a fully stocked medicine tent.
That's a good point. Maybe they don't have cast. Maybe they haven't developed that technology.
I give that plot point 2 fuck you fingers.
Okie dokie.
Just for that. I'm glad they're working on an antidote. At least someone's thinking in this kingdom. But come on, no cast.
Well, how old is the technology for cast? But bear in mind, this is a different world to our own, so their technology won't necessarily.
Yeah, but at least something similar to a cast. I mean, I assume people break limbs there.
Well, he's bandaged himself up and he's put a splint on, didn't he? He's fashioned his own.
He's lucky he's been turned into a Dazzo, or else that leg would have been fucked. You need to amputate that shit.
Yeah, most people in that situation aren't Ranger, who's a grizzly old kick-ass geezer who plows on.
Yeah, but even still, you'd imagine. Yeah, but even still, you imagine after all that time, that leg would have really need to be amputated because he couldn't properly lie down and rest.
No,
he kept standing on it, and that probably didn't help it.
No,
I reckon eventually he would need. That's how I feel, Mr. Brown. You should watch my thoughts videos if you want to hear more swearing. Actually, don't. Then you might not let Rena talk to me anymore. And I quite like Rena.
You're lucky my mum was around. She wouldn't let me talk to you either, probably. She's a terrible influence on you, Graham. Don't go into streams with her.
Well, what? But she wouldn't like Lisa either.
No, she knew Lisa. Oh no, Lisa swears. Yeah. Well, I'm only joking anyway. I'm only pulling your leg. Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going to happen from now on. They've gone for
I already did rip into Stephen King a few times.
Yeah, you did that.
Like, that's it. Now I remembered another ending that fucking disappointed me. The ending of It by Stephen King. How much I swore when I got to the ending. I was like, I read 1,000 pages of this shit to read this. You gotta be shitting me, Stephen.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm not too sure I was gone with Ranger. He just grabbed him and ran off with him, didn't he?
He's still in his other form too. So he's not exactly thinking clearly, is he?
No. I'm wondering if he just grabbed him to stop him from killing himself, and that's why he's grabbed him, because he's like, no, I'd rather you be alive as a Datso than kill yourself. I think maybe that might be what I was thinking, because he's not really, when he's in his monster form, doesn't think as clearly as he would be in his normal form. And I'm assuming, but they've gone chasing after him, haven't they, on the back of another Datso? They've kind of like kidnapped the Datso that was caged, follow that Datso kind of thing. And yeah, I don't know what's. I mean,
I love how they all grab, because they all grab onto a Datso, like grabbing onto a balloon. Let's go, guys!
No, they all climbed on its back because it was on the ground, wasn't it? It was in the net, and they took it out from the net and held a knife to its throat and pinned it down with an axe, kind of thing, to make it fly them off. I suppose slightly surprised he could understand what was going on. Maybe it was originally a human Datso.
I'm sorry, Sharon. I want to read Aragon.
Some humanoid. It's got some more humanoid thought processes. Yeah, so I don't know. They're chasing after Isle, who's gone off with Ranger. I thought they was going to maybe go off on the Datso, make it fly them to the kingdom, get the antidote, and then come back. But then I'm not sure what I'm thinking about it now. I'm not too sure.
They wouldn't make it anyway, would they? He's already transforming anyway.
He's already transforming, but they said that they could try the it wouldn't hurt to try the antidote. I think is what the basic idea.
You should really take some notes from the T-virus in the Resident Evil movies. That shit has some powerful plot armor.
Okay.
I mean, how would but they're not even sure the antidote would work, are they?
No, they're not sure, but they want to try it out.
They're willing to try.
Exactly, yeah. They want to.
Yeah, but like Quill said, it would take not Quill. Ranger said that it would take them at least a day to reach the kingdom
on a fast horse on the back of a flying Datso. Yeah, but on the back of a flying Datso, yeah, on the back of a Datso, it's going to be a lot quicker. I think that's what I thought they were going to do. I thought they were going to use the flying Datso to take them to the castle, pick up the antidote, and then come back again with it. That's what I was guessing was going to happen, but I don't know.
Control the Datso, can't
they? Can they seem to. This Datso is able to understand them. I thought, because she spoke to it and she held the knife to its throat, and it was like. So I'm assuming that they're able to make it go where they want it to go.
That's quite convenient.
Well, it must have been, like I said, it must have been a Datso that had some better understanding. They now know that Datsos aren't all.
Leaves the question: wouldn't that open a whole, a whole question? So the Datsos, do they understand what we do to them? Then we're killing them.
Some of them must do.
That is a good question.
I mean, wouldn't that open to doubt in the people of the kingdom? Like, if this Datso that she put a knife to understands. Yeah, that if she doesn't do what she's told, she'll be killed.
They probably never tried before. It's probably the fact that they've met Isle and realised now that there are, and also Bardoon, and they know that not all Datsos are mindless, slavering monsters, and even the ones that do seem to be mindless and slavering maybe have some understanding.
But man, what a punishment it is, though, for Ranger, though. Become the one thing he hates and wants to kill. I was thinking of Quill in that moment, too. Because imagine her dad, her father figure, her friend, is now turned into the one thing that ruined her life.
She hates as well. Yeah, that's right.
She hates with a passion. Yeah. And now he's turned into it. And the same for Ranger. Because now he's turned into the one thing that also ruined his life.
Yeah.
And he spent 50 years killing.
Yeah.
And now he's turning into that thing. And it was like, holy shit.
It's not.
That's why I was disappointed that Bardoon died, because I would have loved to see the scenes where he kind of rubs it into Ranger. Now you're the thing that you've been killing.
Yeah,
I would have actually liked to see that.
Yeah, he did. I think that's what he wanted.
He does it kind of.
He does a little bit, yeah.
Not really, because he's not aware the queen is dead. And he doesn't really say that out loud. I wish in the future he would meet him and maybe like an anime Ranger. Now being the thing that you hated the most and using those abilities.
That would have been a good story actually for book.
That would have been cool.
And maybe he's coming in book 2. Maybe he ends up having half Datso powers. Maybe he has got some Datso in him. Maybe they become a pair of of Datso to human transformers going about their business around the world. I don't know, fighting
and then
rogue
they make a giant Zordax robot.
Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But I mean, I'm assuming, like you say, because he's in the Isle of Winternock, so I'm assuming that he gets saved. He's got to be saved somehow.
Yeah, he's gonna live.
Either his Acelari blood kicks in and he's able to fight off the potion, or maybe I'll know something that can help him. Maybe he's going to give him some mushrooms or something. Got some extra mushrooms that's going to help him to battle the
mushrooms. But no, that's a little unlikely because, like, if I knew about such mushrooms, I'm just throwing out stuff, Matilda. That would have been
postulating it may actually happen. Yeah.
Oh no, that would have been an interesting idea, and it would have worked. It would have worked if Isle knew that he was human before he even met Ranger, and was trying to maybe see if there is an antidote against. Imagine Isle actually finding a mushroom like that sometimes turns the way he looks into more human.
Maybe
that would have been interesting.
A big dose of mushrooms, and it will calm him down a bit. See what he doesn't change so quickly. Maybe if he took a big dose of mushrooms, you might put him in a bit more of a kind of like not quite coma state, but in a much more like docile state, dormant state. Yeah, much slow down the process. Yeah, and then they have time to get the antidote. And
I don't know. I mean, considering the kind of technology they have, like that's like they can, keep him like that for that long.
No, well, I'm just throwing out thinking theories and possibilities.
That would be an interesting idea. Then the Ranger, two meter guys like lying there, and
what do you think's going to happen?
Mushrooms in his mouth.
What do you think is going to happen then, Matilda? What's your guesswork for the next 3 chapters? We're pretty sure Ranger's going to.
I'm pretty certain Ranger's going to be alive. He's not going to die.
But is he going to be half or?
Yeah, I think he's going to turn. Because the way I think it's going to turn out is he is going to turn, and he and Isle will end up having to live outside the kingdom together. Because there's no way Ranger could go back anymore. Right. Being Ranger or not being Ranger, he is now forever the thing that all the humans hate.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking also, perhaps they're going to also try to find a way, perhaps only the queen will know of what happened to Ranger. Perhaps in the rest of the kingdom, they might tell them that Ranger died filling his duties.
Yeah,
he
fell in battle.
Yeah,
fighting bravely.
Because imagine how much their spirits would be crushed if they found out their legendary hero has turned into the one thing they hate and want to kill.
Yeah.
But it does leave what will happen to how will they continue those? What I'm wondering, because I think Ranger will turn, and now it'll just be him and Isle outside of the kingdom. Now the question is, are they going to still have contact with the other Guardians? Because I mean, what they're going to do next, as far as they're concerned, the current threat has been killed. Bardoon's dead, the Queen's dead, the other Detzels are going to be either killed or scram because they're no longer thinking of war.
Yeah, they're no longer being controlled by the Queen.
Yeah, so where are they going to really continue on from there? Ranger is going to have to basically still live in the forest with Isle. He can't go back.
No.
He can't go back to the kingdom. What do you think is going to happen, Mr. Gray?
Well, the other possibility is his Acelari blood somehow kicks in and he's able to combat it, or they find the antidote and that helps him to combat it. And then, that's a possibility. Both are possible. He either becomes a Datso and has to live on the other side of the wall, or he finds if he becomes a Datso, it's going to be one that's going to have some control. Obviously, he's not going to be a wild Datso. If book 2 is him attacking the city and trying to kill all his friends, I can't imagine that being the case.
that would be some bipolar personality.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Either that. Or like in the soap opera, we're going to find out he has a twin brother.
Yeah. That would be quite an interesting story, though. The hero from the first book becomes the arch villain of the second book.
Oh yeah,
that would be interesting. I wonder if anyone's ever done that.
I still wish Bardoon lived, and later he and Ranger would continue to clash with each other. That would have been awesome. I would have loved to read that.
You like a bad boy, don't you, Matilda? You like
Sharon
a bad boy.
Sharon already spoiled it for us.
I'll become supreme leader.
Everyone dies.
Everyone dies eventually. Yeah, it's true. we all know that.
Yeah, well, you know how Rita, when you said that we can see it on your face a few shows ago, where I guessed about the Ranger dying. And now, since Sharon in the beginning mentioned that your face gives away, I try not to look too much at your face when we make theories, so I wouldn't get any spoilers. So I can't see, oh, Rena's face did that. I must be right.
So mostly just laughing at our silliness, to be honest. All I see Rena doing.
I can't say anything when you guys are making your theories. I can't say anything.
No, exactly. You got to bite your tongue.
So, Mr. Gray, maybe you and I'll read together the Isle of Winternox.
If you've got it, we can do. Yeah.
Yeah, well, when I get it, I still don't have it. I can't buy it currently.
Well, we've only got one more. We've got one more show of this to do, and if anyone wants to come in, anyone who's read this who wants to come in and chat with us,
guys,
generally,
everyone who's watching, and Rena, maybe you could post about it too on your page. Yep. If anyone wants to join the last show, we have 3 spots open for on the last show, guys. Next week on Mr. Gray's channel, over there. We'll have a few more people that want to join us to read the book. Yeah, if anyone wants to, of course.
Even if we have to just drag in Cade and Sharon and Kurt.
Well, no, we need some fresh blood.
Yeah, hopefully people have read it and they can give us their like thoughts on it as well. But yeah. I've been so lazy with reading lately. I've enjoyed reading it. I've enjoyed the fact that I enjoyed the fact that I've got to read these 3 chapters ready for the show kind of thing. So it's kind of good to sort of get me back into reading books a bit more because I've not really read them much lately.
Well, now you have, Mr. Gray, and we'll continue. We're going to do this again, but with Cthulhu.
Yeah. Maybe Rena could join us. Have you ever read H.P. Lovecraft, Rena?
I have not, no.
Maybe you could join us as like...
do that, really.
Like we do, and then we're going to read one H.P. Lovecraft story a week, and then we can chat about it.
Yeah. Oh, then maybe, you know what'll be good about that, Mr. Gray? We could do it on your channel. And then maybe you could do much later shows about it where you can have Rena, since I can't.
Yeah, no, we just one show for that. No, we're just doing the same time slot.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that though. It would be cool if first we get to the Isle of Winternox.
Yeah, once you've got it,
fresh in our minds.
Yeah,
I'll be buying this off of Rena soon, hopefully.
Yeah,
I'll contact you, Rena, when I can. Because I would like to buy this one again, but signed.
Mm.
Yeah.
And also the Isle of Winternox. So yes, also again, guys, remember, if you want to win a copy of the book or a T-shirt, depending, and not depending, we said 2 winners, right, Rena?
Yeah.
Yes, 1 for each.
Okay, so guys, it's gonna have 2 winners, and then the first one gets to pick, and the other one gets what's left.
That's what she said, I believe.
So everybody will have the shot to win the book, and somebody will win the book, and then whoever the second winner is will get the shirt.
Or maybe if the first winner already has the book, you can give him the shirt, and the other winner gets the book.
Yeah, something along those lines. I was going to ask you guys, though, if you had wanted to do that drawing next week while we were live, or if you had wanted to do a separate deal for that.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we should do it next week, yeah.
I think we should also do it in the beginning.
The beginning?
Yeah, because, the attention span of humanity is low.
Well, they just have to just stick around to the end, or they could forget about it. Yeah, make them stick around.
I kind of doubt it. I think we should do it in the beginning because I think they'll just not watch it even.
Well, we're to get in touch with anyone anyway, because they might have been from a previous show. They might not be on this show, kind of thing. So we're just, I don't know. I'd say do it at the end and then just message whoever it is. If they're not in chat, we can just message them, can't we?
Oh no! Well, I just thought get in the beginning so they'll at least come in.
Nah, they're at the end. I think so. Anyway, I think at the end is best. I forgot we're still live. I'm sitting there working on my next video. I'm sitting there downloading clips for my next video. I forgot we're still live.
Oh man, I still gotta film that video for Alex. Oh, so now Isle, not Isle. So now Ranger looks like Isle, kind of with the pin.
Get in there, it's spreading. You got your book signing soon, haven't you? Is it this weekend?
It's this Saturday. Yep.
Wait, I thought it already happened. I thought you said that when we have our next show, it's already going to be.
No, we have
before the last show.
The next show, and then the final show is when I've had it. Yeah.
So where's everyone got to go to see Rena Brown, author?
Those, of course, are in the United States.
If you got a plane ticket, or if you live in the Colorado area, we're going to be in Parker at Books Are Awesome. We're going to be there from 12 to 2, and we're just going to be signing some books and getting to meet some people. It's just going to be a fun time, a fun little time. So I'm excited.
Or if you happen to have a flying Detso you could use.
Hey, any form of transportation, come on down.
I'm pretty sure Datsos aren't allowed in America. They'll stop you at customs. You have to declare them at the border.
But they're corona free. They're already diseased as it is.
Yeah, but they're not Datso free. Datso plague is worse than corona plague.
Yeah,
well, at least from the Datsos you get powers.
Is wanting to rip things to shreds and eat them really a power though? I wouldn't really call it a power.
Lose your mind, gain powers. That's
Yeah.
Well, that's the same power a werewolf has, in a way.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to be a werewolf either, so your argument is self-defeating.
Well, you're kind of halfway there with the beard, Mr. Gray.
Yeah, fair enough. But I've still got to keep my mind what little of it there is left.
I already gave up on my mind, so that's good. But then I'd probably be one of those werewolves where you have the wheels attached in the back. It's going to be embarrassing. I'm riding behind my pack with my wheels. Occasionally, guys, wait. I need to oil my wheels. Hold on a second.
Maybe the werewolf curse would heal you when you're a werewolf. You can run around normally. It's possible.
That would be something to write about. So yes, comment Isle of the Dark if you'd like to win a copy.
Yeah.
Right there. Or as it's been showing the entire show here. And that's it. Our last show is next week, guys. After that, that'll be about it. I'm going to make a thoughts video about this anyway, I think, on my channel. And that one's not related to this, so never mind.
Yeah.
Because I haven't done a book video in a while. So I think this might be my first one for 2021. You get that honor on my channel, Rena. Though I don't recommend you watch the video. It's probably going to be shit.
He's going to say you talk about nothing but trousers. The whole blinking.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's gonna be 5 minutes of the video already.
I think when you sign her book for her, I think you should draw a pair of trousers next to your signature.
I think you should ask your what was the artist's name?
Sandwich.
Trash sandwich, no?
Garbage sandwich.
Garbage ham sandwich.
Garbage ham sandwich. That was it. I knew it was some kind of
delicious. Sounds delicious. Can you ask her to draw me a pair of Isle with a pair of pants? And then you sign next to it.
That costs money,
and then you can write, "There, Matilda, here are your bloody pants."
Now shut up about them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Garbage Sandwich made me some pants.
And I forgot all about this, but I had gone back to look. I've told you this previously. Your questions about that do get answered in the next chapter, and I realized how bad it is afterwards. So
okay.
Just
does he get pants like Adam in heaven? Or it's just a fake leaf?
I have no idea. No, I have no idea what that.
You have to read it and find out, Matilda.
The story of Adam and Eve, where they suddenly realized, we're nude, so they covered themselves in leaves.
Oh no, not like that. No.
That would have been hilarious, though. Not to mention Ranger feeling awkward and having to explain puberty.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, let's not go into the birds and the bees and the Datsos.
I would pay money to read that. just imagining Ranger's mortified face.
Matilda, you'll have to write it yourself, mate.
I don't have to. Someone in the future will watch this and write it for me.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
In advance, I will read it as soon as it's out.
We'll see.
I'm actually gonna really go look and see if there's legitimate fan fiction of this.
It won't be yet. We're a bit early days yet.
If I find one, I won't let you know, Rena. You still need to You still need to get prepared for that.
Yeah, I think that's what I said. I think I said that last week. You need someone to make loads of fan fiction and put it on all the sites so people will read that and then go and read the original book. It'd be like a marketing ploy.
Right.
Yeah, well, actually, maybe not, because then they'll be disappointed. Where's all the sex?
Come on, Matilda. How long are we doing this stream for? I've got dinner to cook.
And I got a video to film for Alex.
All right.
I got an entry to make.
All right.
All right, so that is it, everyone. Thank you for joining our stream. Next week is our last one, so do be aware of that.
On my channel.
Yeah, on Mr. Gray's channel.
Get in touch if you want to try and discuss the book with us. Get a word in edgeways. If you want to try and get a word in edgeways with Matilda, come on next week.
I'm not coming next week then.
No, you can still get as many words in as you can get in.
I'm starting to think I should just not talk half the time.
No, it's all good.
I love how my book is dull and not shiny like yours.
That's because you got the plastic on it. Yours is wrapped.
Like, there's a light shine. There's one.
Okay, cheers for watching.
Oh my God, Mr. Ross, why did you have to go there? Even I didn't go there.
50 Shades of Isle.
Oh God.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Oh wait, let me do.
Have a great, amazing day. Hey.